From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Hello everybody and welcome to Monday Night Happy Hour. We're bringing you all the way to Napa Valley, the Sonoma Raceway for the National Sim Group Cup Series, as we're going to go around this wonderful track, tomorrow at least, for 90 miles, 175 kilometers, which hence the name, and I'll give you the glorious name. So, it's sponsored by our wonderful driver of the league, Mr. Brayton Laster, as I'm still trying to find the logo sent by Gary Wells. There it is. Oh, there. The Whippersnapper, Blaster, Laster, Caster, Master of Disaster, turn right, turn left, 175K. I'd love to talk to Braden and how he came up with that. But that's funny. That is hilarious. It takes just about a minute 17, a minute 18. You're probably going to see drivers come pretty close to hitting that minute 16-ish time. But you're currently looking at Tiller in the 12. As he's coming down the S's down the backstretch, or I call the backstretch, and heading all the way down to the hairpin turn. But just like last week, we're going to show you the racetrack, get a good talking to a couple drivers, have a little fun. It's going to go for about an hour. Got to thank our sponsors, obviously, from All-Star 15 TV. You got the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. Wrestling Over Everything, Drinking Bros Auto Racing, and Hutch Paints. Gotta thank all of them very much from the bottom of my heart, but go check out their links down in the description below. It helps out the channel completely. And looks like right now Dalton Fredericks is the guy on the racetrack right now that put down the fastest lap with a minute 17:36, but I would not be surprised if we see Scott Ramler put down an absolute killer of a lap, which will actually jump to that number 57. Ooh, as he's jumping over those curbs. So there's the track map for everybody at home. We are running the Cup Classic, which now I think they've actually started using this version again. There's Ramler coming down to the hairpin. Let's see if he improves his time. As he's going to cross the start-finish line there. He will. 1:16.91, just as we expected. Scott Ramler going P1 in practice. Still very early on. Gary Wells going to come to the line for the first time to see if where he's going to put that car. And it was a disallowed lap, so he probably got off track at some point. Gonna jump on board. Gotta be real careful with wheel spin here. Ooh, he's gonna take this a little long. Don't think that was completely intended. It's gonna slow up this time. Gonna hold it in third gear. Ooh, slide in the back end just a little bit. I'm gonna leave it in fourth gear. Let's see if he gets into fifth gear heading down to no, he's just gonna back off it. Probably drop all the way down to, he's gonna keep it in second. That'll help with wheel spin, but I feel like if you drop it down to first, especially mid-corner, you might be able to get a little bit better of a launch. And let's see what his lap time gives us here. And a 1:21.78, so gonna need some improvement there, but I feel like as they keep running, they're gonna keep getting faster. Jason Blaney, the driver number 22. Shelby Cobra. No, Tyler, this is just a practice session. We do happy hour practice. More people will join as the practice prolongs. We only do about an hour of a broadcast, though. More people will join. Yeah, they wanted a little more exposure with the league, and I have free time, so I put on like a happy hour broadcast. Yeah, you're going to start to see drivers start filing in now that the session opened up 10 minutes ago. Probably looking at, I don't know, 20, 25 people most likely tomorrow. Alright, you got Jason Blaney trying to improve on his 1:17.70. He's going to cross the line here. And survey says, does he improve? No, but very consistent on that lap time. Now, this practice session's open to anybody in the league via the league's page. And anybody, if they want, can jump in, grab some laps. I only broadcast the first hour or so, unfortunately. But, you know, we just had Mike Robinson join. Waiting to see him get on track as you still see Gary Wells running a couple laps here. As I say that, he goes off track. Oh! Scott Ramler just betters his time even more. Now he's a second faster than Dalton Fredericks. But Dalton is a very capable driver, and he 100% learns where he needs to make up time. And what I would do is honestly have, if I was Dalton, Ramler get by you and just try to stay in his tire tracks. Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's 2 hours and 38 minutes left from what I'm seeing. 37 minutes. The race is tomorrow night on the channel, but they have a practice session every Monday for the whole league to take part. So what's fun about this track, especially now that they're doing the Cup Historic again, where they're not doing the carousel. I never really liked the carousel, but I understand they did it back in the day and everything, and it was cool for the first year. But, you know, I know it's not iRacing, but one of my broadcasting buddies who is on the channel tonight, TJ Barnier, you'll see him come online when it's time for the Extreme Forces Racing League. I can't tell you the amount of battles him and I have had at road courses, and I think Sonoma, probably about 2 years ago, was our best race. Now, I'll use what we're seeing on screen right now. Hopefully Jason Blaney stays on the track so I can pinpoint where all the positions and everything were. So we're hitting the last couple laps here, and TJ's right behind me, and he's been gaining, and I mean gaining fast. There is no question he's going to get to me. It's more of where's he going to punt me. And, you know, we get through the top portion of the track coming down the hill, and I look behind me, and he's there. There's no, you know, all right, I have a little bit. He is there. We're coming to the white flag coming out of the hairpin, and I thought he was going to boot me in the hairpin. So we're going into turn 1 as we climb up the hill. You know, up to turn 1, and the right-hander, I think, is turn 2. And I don't know what happened. I must have just had the biggest lapse of judgment of racing. Cleans us both out. We have a crap ton of damage, and we still have a whole lap to go. We had the whole field via pit strategy, I think 30 or 40 seconds behind. So it's going to be us. It's still going to be one of us, but we're beating and banging the whole way. And we get all the way back down to the S's, almost side by side. But my stupid mistake was I let him get behind me. And everybody now has seen Ross Chastain do his Martinsville thing. That doesn't work with a tire barrier. And I come to find out, you know, I get bumped, and it wasn't a bad bump. I wasn't going to wreck, but I was like, I'm just going to stick it in the gas and just ride the wall. Well, apparently on Heat 5 at Sonoma, you can't really ride the tires. So I'm laughing my butt off. He's laughing his butt off. I ended up getting stuck in the tires and ended up finishing 4th. So, you know, never really took it that crazy and competitive, but it was always fun for a league. But we're still looking at Jason Blaney as, ow, that's going to hurt in the morning. Good thing it's practice and they get brand new cars. John Tiller on the track. He's done about almost 13 laps of practice right now. Okay, that makes sense. Can't wait for EFRL. I will turn my seat. I hope so. I really hope so. So, giving you guys a little bit of a inside baseball here. You see Scott Ramler as he's on track. Dalton Fredericks is actually in the 57's pit box trying to pinpoint where he can get faster. Because as we saw Jason Blaney just take that second spot. So there's a lot of teamwork going on with these HSR guys. Because Scott Ramler's running the track. Dalton probably on an in-cam so you can hear revs and, you know, where to slow down, where to shift. I fully expect that Dalton will be a front runner tomorrow. Now, tomorrow is a little different than our normal races. You know, we do have stages, but we're not throwing yellow for them at all. Zippo, nata. So, at lap 10 is going to be the conclusion of stage 1. Lap 20, the conclusion of stage 2. And then 45 is the finish. The only way we get a caution is if the track is blocked. That is the only way. Got Landon just about to finish his first lap. See where that's going to put him. Right now, P5. And there, once again, Scott Ramler put a crazy lap time down. A 1:15.7. So everybody, we're going to go take a quick commercial break. And when we return, we're going to see if we can get a hold of a couple of our drivers.
Let's get this circus on down the road. We're taking bets about a tank and gas will go.
From Mortar to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
We are back, everybody. You see the 6 drivers that so far have put a lap time in this happy hour practice for the Whippersnapper, Blaster, Laster, Caster, Master of Disaster, Turn Right, Turn Left, 175K. I'm just gonna call it the Laster Motorsports 175. K. Obviously. But you're still looking at Landon Williams as he's slowly improving. I'm going to drop back to Gary Wells. See him going up the S's. Gonna jump on board with that number 30 once again to see how he's doing. Oh, and there goes Landon behind him. It looks like that turn down the hill is a little bit of a struggle for Gary. I wouldn't be surprised if he's changing a little bit of shift points. You see how he's going down to gear 1? Oh, he almost lost it there. Great car control. And then coming to the line. Does he improve? No, he does not. He's going to stay with a best lap time at a 1:20.12. Jason Blaney's still doing a really good job to try to chip away from Scott Ramler's lap time. Looks like we've got another driver on board. He's about to take the green flag on a runner lap. Mike Robinson, a good road course racer. Usually we see him, obviously, every week here. Oh! And it looks like he just pancakes the wall right in front of Gary Wells. And here comes Jason Blaney. Mike Robinson doesn't hold the brake and cleans out him and Jason Blaney. Scott Ramler back on board. But what I was saying, Mike Robinson, he's very good in a GT3 car. I've watched him run quite a lot of races. The Bathurst race being my favorite. That was fun to watch as they come down the hill, like the Solemns. And just... I think they ended up finishing 3rd or 4th that race. I know they had trouble early with him not in the car. Trying to see who we can talk to. Because unfortunately Mr. Jason Blaney is not in this Discord. Oh, just like before, Gary Wells and Mike Robinson, as Robinson's going to go off the track again. We're going to stick with this to see how well he's going to do. But I think we're going to go from a nice chopper cam. I'm going to take a minute or two and watch how he's going through this lap. All right, everybody. Sorry about that. I had to go grab a drink because I realized I did not have one. But you saw that. It seems early on in this practice session, Mike Robinson having issues keeping that number 29 on the race course. As I say that, there he goes again. Dalton Fredericks back online here. Ooh, little hiccup there. That was a weird sounding gurgle noise. Oh! You do got to be careful on where you go, because it's not just the grass or dirt that will make your car in trouble. You will get X's or incident points every time you possibly go off track, or most of your car goes past that yellow line or too far over a rumble strip. And Fredericks gets a little bit better there. He's down in the 116s. Landon Williams also a little bit faster. AJ Cruz has joined up and brings that Ford Mustang number 75 to the racetrack. Again, you're going to see everybody here tomorrow night. This is just happy hour practice, and thank you everybody for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. So he's going to go off track just a little bit. Not too bad. Look at AJ Cruz slide that car. He's on his flyer lap now. And is going to beach it? No, he gets out of it. Way to stay in it. So you get the off track, you get the invalid lap time, but you don't wreck the car and you can continue going. John Tiller in the admin box. Ford. Look like that car's been off track a couple times already. You see the dust on the side of it. Alright, let's see. What kind of lap time is John Tiller going to put down? Coming to the hairpin. How well does he get through it, though? Don't want to brake too hard, and actually looks really good through it. I would have maybe accelerated a tiny bit sooner, but other than that, great hairpin for John Tiller. And that lap time is right around where he has been running, a 1:19.91 there to his 1:18.81. The biggest thing when it comes to these road courses with these NASCAR vehicles, especially on iRacing, to get the best finish, just keep it on the track. You could be slow, very slow, or holy crud, you are literally stop slow. As long as you keep it on the track, you're going to be passing a lot of cars. Still watching the number 12 of John Tiller. Using those rumble strips on either side to help the car turn. Ooh, a little squirrely there. Maybe got on a little too hard. And that lap for Tiller is still right around the 119s. Robinson looks to actually have a couple laps put together as he's going to clip the grass tie. Should not have gone to him. Oh, God. All right, let's see AJ Cruz here. Maybe there was a little of a broadcaster's curse the minute I clicked on Mike Robinson. Yeet. Oh, save it. Awesome job. Awesome save. Dalton's going to put that car in P2. Let's see if he can overthrow Scott Ramler. He's going to need almost a second better of a lap time. Seeing Dalton there again. Jordan Pauly has taken his number 7 to the racetrack in the Flow Racing Chevy Camaro. This is his first go lap, and as we've seen a lot so far, with those tires being cold still, you don't corner very well. Gary Wells with a hell of a close-up job onto Mike Robinson. Gary Wells improved about a second and a half that lap. That was a good turn down the hill. See a little bit of an aggression in Gary right here, but also patience, as you know, he doesn't want to mess up teammate Mike Robinson, but Robinson's going to go off the track in front of him, and Gary's just going to get right by him. And Landon Williams. This better be a very good lap for Landon Williams right behind him. Gary Wells improved. No, he doesn't, but Landon, no, he's going to run almost a 117 and a half, so he's going to stay in third, but looks like we have a whole grouping of cars. See, I'm not really a racer here on iRacing. I've run my fair share of races, but I honestly do this for the broadcasting because I have a lot of fun with that. But one of the racetracks that I very much enjoy is this Sonoma race course. And just watching how some of the drivers or these drivers are taking some of the turns, I get they're going to get a better run. But I still think with some of the turns that they're making, they're kind of cutting the car a little too hard and slowing themselves down when they don't need to. Like we saw Gary when he came down the hill, that right-hander, it's tight, but I think he turned it too much when he should have taken a little more of a straighter line at the next short left, which I'll point it out here because it's kind of hard to explain without Alright, so he's going to get through here. Very good. So this is where I'm talking about. This turn here. He gets through it a little too far, and then I would have aimed right for the curb on the left-handed side right there and clipped it. Might not save you a ton, but it should save you a little bit. And right now, Gary's only sitting at a 119.92. Let's see, this lap time's going to count for Jordan Pauly. Crosses the line. No, unfortunately, it's an invalid lap time. Oh! And he just launches it off the track. Let's see Mr. Landon Williams. He's working on a full 14-lap run right now. We've seen that car go off track. We've seen that car bump other vehicles. He's kept it on the racetrack. You know, not taking it back to pit road, getting a brand new car. I think he wants to, as I say that, he's either letting cars go by to see if he can catch them. I'm really curious. Because he is just riding around right now. Okay, now he's stepping on it. Yeah, see how he moved a little further left to clip the rumble strip? Alright, let's see if we can get a word with one of our drivers. Gary, it's AJ in the broadcast booth. Do you got a copy, my friend?
I got you.
Hey, brother. I see that you've been running a crud ton of laps so far. I think you're on lap 20 just sitting in the pits right now. How does it feel? How do you feel like you're going to fare tomorrow? Is this one of your better road course tracks? Or tell us how you're feeling.
Well, I think it typically is, but there's a lot of guys that are fast, faster than I anticipated. So, but I think it's going to be very similar to COTA, where if I keep all four tires on the track the whole race, don't get off track much, I'll probably get a top 10 or a top 15. So that's what I'm hoping for, but this place is pretty tough, but I love the challenge.
So what are we looking at for tire and fuel mileage? Because as I explained to everybody in the YouTube land, just like COTA, we don't call those cautions for the stages. So what are you guys looking at for fuel and tire?
Right, yeah, so you're going to have to pit one time for gas. Really, you're going to run the race backwards. So the first opportunity you get to get within your pit window, you're going to come in and pit and probably not take tires. Just depends on how the track is. With how hot it is today and how it's going to be for tomorrow, we might see guys take tires. It just really depends.
Ooh, as I jumped to AJ Cruz and he immediately spins out into the inside. That's happened quite a bit when I click on people. They seem to wreck.
Yeah, it happens.
It very much happens. All right, brother. Well, thank you for giving us a couple seconds of your time. Hopefully to see more people show up in the next 10 minutes before we head out and get ready for EFRL in just about an hour.
Well, if you want to get a better interview than me, I would highly recommend pulling Scott Ramler if he is ever off track long enough for you to talk to him.
Well, he's off track now, So let me go give that a shot.
All right, sounds good.
All right, thank you, Gary. All right, I'm going to go bother Scott Ramler now. That's Dalton Fredericks. Hee. Scott Ramler, AJ Capola in the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy, my friend?
Anthony, or AJ, did you just pull me up to the booth?
Yes, I did.
I'm in the bathroom. Give me a second.
Well, everybody, you heard that from Scott Ramler himself. When you need to go, you need to go. But we'll get an interview with him once he gets back. That's been a first here on All-Star 15 TV. Not gonna lie, I've never interrupted somebody using the restroom before. But hey, new things happen all the time.
Not gonna lie, that's probably a first that I've been pulled into the booth while I was in the bathroom.
I just mentioned it being a first on the channel as well. All right, Scott. Well, you were kind of referred to by Gary for an interview, Mr. Road Course himself. Kind of talk about how that number 57 hit that 1:15.77 and how you think you're going to do with the rest of practice and the race tomorrow.
Oh, well, this setup that we had has a ton of pace, and right now we're really having to wring its neck to get down to those numbers. And some of my teammates are having some issues with that, so I'm here trying to help them out and give them a couple laps to get that figured out, and then try to iron out a couple of issues that I have with the setup, just trying to make it last a bit longer. But yeah, this thing's a freaking rocket ship. Hoping to show up and take the dub tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, we don't normally see you every single week, but it's good to see you on the racetrack because as a person I looked up to as a kid was Mr. Nature Boy Ric Flair, and he always said to be the best, you got to beat the best. And you are one of the best road course racers I've seen on any sim, any game, what have you. So I think you being on track ups the ante for everybody.
I greatly appreciate that praise. I'm definitely not the best on iRacing, but I try to show up and put in my best effort no matter what I'm doing, whether it be asphalt oval, dirt oval, road courses, or even dirt road. It seems like whatever I get behind the wheel of, I can drive probably about to 8/10 of what some of the pros can do. So it's always a lot of fun to get out here and just show what I'm capable of doing.
Yeah, and it honestly, I think it really helps the league for the most part because they see what lap time you're putting, and that gets them to open their mouths and be like, all right, my car feels like this. Is there any way I can make it this? And that's where you come in. That's where Joe comes in. Maybe Dalton, depending on the track. But we were watching you for a while, and I commented because you were running these fast lap times. Did you have Dalton on the pit box in the watching in car to see where you were picking up the gas, braking, shifting, and everything? Because immediately when he hit the track again, he put that second place fastest lap time.
That's exactly what I try to get a lot of my teammates to do. Sometimes there's just things that can't be conveyed in words, and we're all very well-spoken individuals, so we can talk you through most of the process of getting up to this speed. But sometimes you just have to watch somebody do it to figure out what you're missing.
Yeah, exactly. And back to the well-spoken and everything, especially when you guys are ticked off, you guys are very well-spoken. You bring a whole new language to the channel, the chat, the everything.
Yeah, we can be a bit vindictive at times. We all have some sharp tongues, but it's all in good fun, though.
Yeah, put the claws away, my friend. But all right, Scott, I thank you for coming up here, chatting with us, having a little fun for a couple laps while I watched everybody on the racetrack try to get to your 1:15.77, and Dalton's almost a second off of that. And then you go all the way down to Mike Robinson, just about 7 seconds off of that. So a lot of people have a lot of work to do. You seem to gel well when it comes to at least Sonoma. I think, did you run Coda?
I did not run Coda. I was on the box for Dalton for a good portion of the race, and he and I worked for probably, I think, about 3 hours one night, just really hammering home the points that he needed to hit to get that dub. And he just absolutely ran away with it. It was incredible to watch.
So after this, I'm pretty sure we go to Watkins Glen in just about a couple weeks. Yeah, right before Christmas, we go to Watkins Glen. Now, there's a good saying that people like to talk about is this runs more like a super speedway, while Watkins Glen runs more like a road course, a short track. Or did I get that wrong? Is it more vice versa?
I think it'd be more the other way around. Sonoma is just so tight at pretty much any point that you have to really rely on late braking and being able to get good exits off the corner. I feel like it would be more appropriate to equate Sonoma to Martinsville and Watkins Glen more to, say, like a mile and a half. There's a lot more room at Watkins Glen. You can fan out, you can play around with your lines, but here you've really got to be on the point and be pretty much right on the preferred line to get a good time around here, and you have to be incredibly consistent. There's not much room for you to make mistakes.
Yeah, so I had the right analogy, I just had the wrong order, so. But we talked to Gary before, like I mentioned. He mentioned running the race backwards like they do in real life here at Sonoma. Is that something in your brain that whenever you go to a road course that's implemented, it was like, we really need to look at possibly running the race backwards?
Yeah, we're always looking at different ways to get one up on the competition, and running the race backwards is a very popular method of drivers in, let's say, like IMSA or Formula One to get a leg up on everybody, because you end up with new rubber, you start going faster a little bit sooner before the weight of the car kind of falls off with the fuel usage. But as far as with stock car racing, track position is key. As fast as I am here, there are so many pinch points on this racetrack that if you know how to defend, it's damn near impossible to pass somebody. And I apologize for cussing. That just kind of slipped out on me.
Oops.
It's so hard to maneuver your way around somebody in these massive hulks of 3,400-pound stock cars compared to, say, an open wheel like F3, F4, or even a Formula One car, because you have downforce to rely on there. Here, we're relying more on mechanical grip, and outside of the lines of the racing line here, there's just not that much grip to take advantage of.
That's some stuff that honestly I wouldn't have thought about, but it's good to have somebody who really enjoys the not oval stuff, or because you do run a lot of road stuff. I've seen what you do in an Indy car on I think my favorite was what is it called, Long Beach. Watching you run around that track in an Indy car, that was fun to watch. Not because I was sponsoring the race at the time, but I'm hoping we get more and more people into this, just for the fact of it's a good league to be in. It seems to really, as of last week, unfortunately, we did lose a little bit of our driver population due to some unforeseen circumstances. But I think right now everybody's on a clean slate, and we're going to move on from there.
And I agree. Just there are always some kinks with a new group of people. Every time you put together a league with a bunch of guys that have never raced together, there's going to be some rivalries brewing, some animosity, and there's always going to be drama, because that's what we live for. That's racing. It's drama on wheels. So once you get all the kinks worked out, everybody starts to gel a little bit, know who they can run around. It gets better, and we can only go up from here. Is the way that I look at it.
Yeah, and I think you're right with that. Like I said, it was very unfortunate what happened, but I think everybody, at least in the drivers, the way I was talking to drivers before going live tonight, it feels like everybody's boards have been wiped, and we're just gonna go from here.
I absolutely agree. Hopefully tonight or tomorrow's race will be a lot of fun, and we'll get to see how some of this stuff plays out, because this is shaping up to be a very interesting race.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys do or how they're going to catch you. So, Scott, thank you for spending some time with us, and sorry for ruining your bathroom break.
Oh, it's all good. It's not like I needed to do that anyway.
Oh, don't make me do that. All right, see you later, Scott.
Have a good one, AJ.
Oh, God, he almost made me stop breathing there for a second. And ladies and gentlemen, that is not good. You don't want to kill the broadcaster the day before the broadcast. Oh, that was good. Well, just with a couple minutes remaining, chat, I know there's only a couple of you. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And then on top of that, if you got any questions for any of the drivers that I will possibly ask them tomorrow, put them down in the chat now. Because obviously we want to hear from you. But looking at the lap times, Rambler still your front runner, almost a second over Dalton Fredericks. And Landon Williams slowly getting faster and faster and faster. But I think we're going to call it here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this happy hour practice. It's been a lot of fun. Got to talk to Gary and Mr. Scott Rambler. In just about 45 minutes, join us as we go racing from Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Extreme Forces Racing League, the Cheerwine, or Cheerwine, I think it's called Cheerwine 100. So, see you there. Peace out, everybody.
From Mortar to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.